All right, welcome back to Taco's Truck Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your commissioner, David Molly.
Hey, it's co-host Joey Drip. What's happening?
All right, we'll start out with for week 7. We'll just run right into rewind here. Weekly Rewind. All right, start off with my matchup. We have Mark beating me 125.1 to 94.5. Basically, all I wrote was my wide receivers completely underperformed, and Mark hit his projection basically for his total and was just enough to squeak out but win because my team basically underperformed there. Joe, David, and Marshall all picked David to win, so we all missed on that. Moving on to Kilo versus Tom. Kilo wins 143.8 to 135.8. That was a pretty good matchup. The Rams were doing it big there. I have for Kilo there, I have Stafford and Kupp getting a bunch of points there, 67.2 combined. And also for Tom, the LA Rams defense got 17 points, so that's pretty good. Favorite stat for myself, keeping the streak alive, Kilo had Buffalo's defense for 0. Joe picked Tom, David picked Tom, and Marshall picked Kilo, so Marshall was the only one that hit. And the last one I'll cover is Drake winning 128.2 over Clint 119.6. There wasn't really much going on here. The majority of the players for both sides were double digits. I think the biggest factor here was Brady scoring 10 more points than Herbert, which is basically what he won with 1 by 10 points. So Joe did pick Drake, so that was a hit. And David and Marshall both picked Clint, which is no good.
Right on. In my matchup, Sean posted high score of the week. He beat me 158.5 to 130.8. He had 8 of his 9 players go over projection with big games from Josh Allen, Henderson, and Antonio Brown. On my side, 2 more red zone picks from Mahomes. Awesome. Zach Moss was getting no touches, and Hollywood Brown went up against the number 1 pass D. So it led to all 3 of those guys missing projection. This one stings a little bit. You hate to score the 130 and lose, but it happens to all of us at some point during the season. And then next matchup was Marshall. He pulled out he pulled out enough points on Monday Night Football to take down Brandon this week. He went in trailing by a few points. He came out 145.7 to 137.7. He had 7 of his 9 players hit projection, led by D-Hop and Fant having good games. And my former kicker Prater posted a 15 spot for him. So that was a nice pickup. Brandon had a really nice week from Kyler Murray and CeeDee Lamb, hanging a 36.1 on the Pats D, which we'll get into later. But Kareem Hunt going down and the inconsistency of Mike Evans this season has cost him the dub this week. And last matchup, our champion, Matt, finally gets his first dub of the season.
Let's go.
Yes,
Matt.
he's got a 127.7 to 109.6 victory over JR this week. Even though Daniel Jones only hit 3.4, Matt had Jonathan Taylor and Mark Andrews stay red hot, and Stephon Diggs post his first game in the 20s this season. But he still trails his brother Trayvon in the TD department 2-0. JR had a great game out of Thielen. He was popping 29.8. But Adams, Folk, and the Pats D all finished under projection. If those 3 would have just hit projection, JR would have won. So that wraps up the week. Second Harvest 3, Pocket Dogs 3.
Ooh, I'm glad that you looked at that because I did not. To go back, Sean beating Joe. Marshall was the only one that picked Sean. Marshall over Brandon. Marshall was the only one that picked Marshall. Good for him.
Damn.
And Matt over JR. All 3 of us picked Matt. So that leaves us Joe 2 and 4 for the week. I was 1 and 5. Yikes. And Marshall was 2 and 4. All right, run into busted or busted. Busted or busted. All right, what do you got this week, Joe?
All right, fellas. Second harvest. We're going to start out with busted. We just mentioned him, but Daniel Jones was terrible this week. The only thing you got the Giants fan jonesing for is a new QB. He finished 29 to 51 for 56%, 242 and 3 picks and a fumble. He does love to fumble. After posting a 3.9 last week against Dallas, I thought for sure he would bounce back this week, but he had other plans and tallied 3.4. Daniel Jones, you are busted. And busting for the first time this year, this player posted in the 20s for fantasy football. He had 9 catches on 11 targets for 97 yards and a touchdown. Racked up 24.7 points. It is not Stephon Diggs. It is tight end Noah Fant. On a week where he was probably feeling a little sad after Iowa got their pants pulled down and spanked by those Boilermakers, Fant was able to focus on the field and take care of business against the Raiders. Noah Fant, you were straight busting this week. And then busted. This one's a surprise and just goes to show you that even when you are having a good season, you can still have a bad week. The stat line on this running back was 6 carries for 7 yards, 1.2 yards per carry, no touchdowns. Dave, you probably recognize that stat. However, he did have 4 catches for 48 yards and finished with almost a respectable 9.5 points, but that is far from his 21.5 per week average. Gents, this busted goes out to Austin Eckler. And the last busting on second harvest, this was another first timer to the 20-point club, almost making 30 points this week. With a return from his starting quarterback, Jalen Waddle posted 29 points, had 7 catches, 70 yards, 2 scores this week. Maybe more good things to come from the Alabama combo with Waddle and Tua. So you were straight busting, bud. And moving on to pocket dogs, I got a bone to pick with this week's busted player, Patrick Mahomes. Here's a quote, and it's bad when you score in the 20s and you're on the busted list, but here's a quote from Patty. He says, interceptions are on the stat sheet, but if you're winning games, nobody cares. Well, you're wrong, bro, because the millions of us that have you on our fantasy team, we care. You now have 8 picks on the season. You were tied for second worst in the league. You're on pace for 23 interceptions on the season. You also have 5 red zone turnovers, which are costing me valuable fantasy points. The Chiefs are leading the NFL with 15 turnovers so far this season, and you are 500 at the bottom of the AFC West. Maybe a little bit more Karen and a little bit less Sharon with the opposing team might do us all some good. So you, sir, are busted. And busting, how about them Cowboys? This young superstar racked up 9 catches, 11 targets, 149 and 2 touchdowns against a very good Pats D. CeeDee Lamb came to play this week. He capped his big night off with a 35-yard touchdown in overtime to make his team 5-1 on the season. He looks to be heating up with scores in back-to-back weeks and has broken into the top 10 in fantasy football wide receiver rankings. So well done, CD. You are busting. And busted, welcome back to reality here. This guy had 31.9 points last week and followed it up with a 3.4 this week. Stat line of 5 carries, 9 yards, 2 catches, 5 yards, has landed Myles Gaskin back in the busted house this week. For a guy that projected by many to be a kind of a poor man's Austin Eckler version this season, he has definitely not lived up to the hype. Myles Gaskin, you used to be classy, bougie, ratchet. Now you suck at football. What's happening? Myles Gaskin, you busted. And on a bussin', I'm tired of seeing this guy on the bussin' list this season, but you can't keep him off. I tried, but he stiff-armed me and ran right onto the list. Derrick Henry is a monster. This dude had another 20-carry game, 143. That was 7.2 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns against a tough Bills D. He had 2 catches for 13 yards, and you get 35.6 fantasy points. It is his 3rd time over 30 this season. He has 170 points on the season and is already averaging 28.4. Clint, you should be on this busted list for not keeping this guy. Derek, you are busting, bro. That's what we got for the week.
Yeah, that motherfucker's insane, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All right, buy or sell. Buy or sell. All right, last week we had Heineke versus Kansas City, 275 plus passing yards. All 3 of us bought. That was a That was a no-go.
100 off.
182. We had DeAndre Swift versus Cincinnati, 50 plus rushing yards. Joe sold, I sold. They both hit 24 rushing yards. He did
Suck
have
on
one.
that, Marshall.
Yeah, he did have one rushing TD, 5 receptions for 43 yards. He has 24 rushing yards, still ends up with 17.7 points.
Yeah,
but that's
can't
the way
complain.
the season. Yeah, that's the way the season's been for him. Jefferson at Carolina, wide receiver 1. I was the only one that sold. He was a wide receiver 24, so he's barely in the wide receiver 2 column. So I hit on that. Joe is 1-2, David 2-1, Marshall 0-3. That leaves Joe 7-8 for the year, 8-7 for me for the year, and 0-3 obviously for Marshall since his first week on. For this week, I feel like I made some fun lines here.
Oh, these were good. Yeah, these were good this week.
Brady, 4 touchdowns versus the Bears.
All right. So we've talked about this in the past, but Brady is currently on a streak of 4 regular season home games where he has thrown for 4 or more touchdowns. The guy is a machine. There is no doubt. But I'd like to point out that those games, 2 of them were against the Falcons, 1 against the Cowboys passing D, where we know where that's at, and 1 against the Dolphins. Last year, he did play against Chicago. It was in Chicago, but he only threw 1 touchdown. I'm selling this week. I think the streak is over, not because so much of towards the Bears D, but it's just damn hard to throw 4 touchdowns in a game against even an average defense. So, you know, against those Ds, sure. Against the Bears D, he just can't. I'm going to say no. Sell.
All right. I like it. I am going to buy.
All right.
Obviously, Joe said the last time that he had 4+ TD game, that was December 13th of 2020, which was a win against the Vikings. Had 2 TDs there. The Bears do rank number 9 versus quarterback as far as points, but they have 2 outlier games that boost up their rankings, and that was a game where Burrows threw 3 interceptions in 3 plays, and that very weird game with Derek Carr. So I truly don't believe that their defense is good as the stats say. And I think Brady's going to continue the streak. So I'm
getting a revenge game from last year. I think, wasn't it last year he thought it was 4 downs and it was 4th down and he was doing all that shit. Yeah.
No, was that?
You know, he was saying 4 TDs. I'm going to throw 4
TDs.
Yeah.
All right. We have Patterson, 125 all-purpose yards at Miami.
The ever hot Cordero Patterson. So
sounds fun for me.
Yes. So Miami gives up 125 rushing yards a game, just rushing yards. So I can imagine it's probably like 175 per game for all purpose to running backs. I didn't look it up, but it's got to be somewhere around there. Sure. But Patterson has not reached 125 all purpose yards all season. So I don't see it happening against the Dolphins on that field. It plays like real grass. It gets a little messy, and the forecast has light rain in the forecast. So I'm saying no. I like the receiving core a whole lot more this week, and I see Mike Davis being somewhat productive, which might steal some touches from Patterson. So it's a sell for me. I'm selling.
All right. So for people that don't know, I do make up the lines, and I picked 125 specifically because he hasn't hit it all year.
Yep.
Right. So Miami is ranked number 30 against running backs and also ranked number 30 against wide receivers, which is basically what Patterson is. And like Joe said, he hasn't hit 125 all year. And the line is very, very close for me, just for the pure fact that I do think that Mike Davis is going to have a game. I think he's going to contribute. But with that said, Patterson still averages, I think it's 8 or 9 carries a game, and he averages 8 targets a game, I think it is. Or what? It's either targets or receptions. I can't remember. I think it's targets. But I think with how bad that defense is, I am on the line, but I am going to buy.
All right.
So
All right. I'm hoping it goes to Pitts. I got some wishful thinking. I want Pitts to get the ball. So that's why I was
sure.
knocking down Patterson. But yeah, I do agree. This one is going to be tight. This one's going to be close. It can go either way.
Right. And the last one, Adams, 100 plus receiving yards at Washington.
Well, if it's Jamal Adams, he's the best. The guy's the best at everything. But Devontae Adams, I'm buying, bro. So Adams has had 3 of 6 games this year over 100 yards. Washington is horrible against the pass this season, and the pressure up front, it really hasn't been there. It's not as good as it was last season. Rodgers should have plenty of time to find one of the best route runners in all of football. He makes 100 9 out of 10 times here, in my opinion. So I am buying Devontae Adams all day.
All right. I like it, Joe. We're split all 3 ways. I am selling here. And obviously not because I don't think you can do it. I truly do believe that, especially going against number 31 ranked defense versus the wide receiver. The only thing about it is, and maybe this is wishful thinking. Hopefully I don't jinx my team here, but I think that they're going to be up by a couple scores. And then I also think that they're really going to get Randall Cobb and Lazard in the mix this week. I see a lot of running from AJ Dillon, which is actually a reason why I have him in my lineup this week. And I think he gets close, but I don't think he quite gets there. I'd say maybe he gets like
102.
That would be close to what I was thinking. I was going to say, I think he's going to get about 90, 93 yards.
All right.
Now, don't get me wrong. If this fucker blows up for 150, 160 and 2 TDs,
you'll be happy.
I wouldn't. And I would not be surprised against that defense. But I just think that they're really going to spread the ball around. So,
right.
Yeah, I like that. That's the first time we've ever been split.
That's good. That's good matchups.
Yeah. Week 6 positional points was wide receiver 2 and quarterback. Brandon 1 was 69.7.
Huge.
Yeah. And going into week 7, it is defense and kicker.
Yeah, baby.
This is gonna be a barn burner, boys.
Yep.
Someone could legitimately win with like 23 points. So
hey, just remember, if you guys were planning on getting cheeky and leaving your defense or a kicker spot empty due to bye weeks this week, it's strongly encouraged, if you want a 20 spot, you better go pick somebody up.
Yeah. I have to look, but I think there were a couple people that were just like Mark's team. I think he can't do anything. I think he's just fucked.
Yep.
Unless he's willing to drop players, and I'll just be sitting there waiting for them when he does.
For sure. Me too.
All right. We'll move in the future forecast. It's now time for your future forecast. All right, going into week 7, starting out, we have Brandon versus myself, David. I am picking Brandon this week, and I didn't put a lot of writing into this one. Basically, all I wrote was, I think along the way, he has better matchups for every single player. I believe in Mixon as a running back more than Hubbard, but Hubbard has a better matchup. I believe in McKissick in the game script, especially against Green Bay, where I think that they're going to be down a couple scores, and they might put Gibson on a pitch count over Drake, but he has a better matchup. I believe in T. Higgins, so on and so forth. I really do like Henry Ruggs, but his team just has a better matchup. So, that the simple way here, I am picking Brandon.
Well, I said I'd never pick Brandon. I said I never picked Brandon. So last week I picked him. He let me down. My gut tells me to go with Brandon this week, though, because Dave, you do have some situations on your team with Geno Smith throwing the football, Hurts Lockett, McLaurin dealing with the bad hammy, Eckler on a bye. But fuck Brandon and fuck the rest of Pocket Dogs. I'm riding with Dave. Hurts, Mixon, and Denver's D is going to get it done. I'm taking Dave over Brandon.
All right. The next one, I appreciate that, by the
You
way.
bet.
I can't find this matchup on the screen. Kilo. Oh, here we go. Kilo and Matt. This is the IT Bowl.
Oh, the IT Bowl.
Yes, sir. Whoever's gonna tell you to restart your computer quicker wins this one. I do think this is a close matchup. Kilo's obviously 6-0 and Matt is 1-5. It's a huge difference here. You look at it without even looking at it, which doesn't make any sense. You're just assuming Kilo's going to win here. I think Kilo's running backs have a better matchup, but kind of what I was alluding to before, I like Matt's running backs better. Kind of like what I was saying with my matchup. I like Jonathan Taylor, which is fucked up because I 3 weeks ago proclaimed him the bust of the season.
Yep.
And I like Patterson.
Fire,
yeah. Especially over James Conner and Damian Harris. So I am picking Matt because I like his running backs better. The rest of the way, I think they're fairly even. I do think that Chris Godwin's going to have a huge game. Sterling Shepard has the potential to blow up as well. Renfro on Kilo's side, he's kind of one of them players that gets 12 points every week. You feel good about that, but you can't ever stray away from that Stafford Cup stack. But I think Matt squeaks this one out.
Okay. Well, then unplug your routers and let them reset for 10 seconds because I got Matt getting back-to-back dubs this week with the win over Kilo. If there is ever a week where Kilo is going to take a loss, this has to be the one. He's without Mike Williams. He's without Deontay Johnson. No Dalvin Cook. Matt's only missing Stephon Diggs. And like I said, he hasn't had a huge season, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. We're taking Matt. Let's go second harvest. All interleague play second harvest. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be good for you, huh?
Yes.
Moving on to my last start coverage would be Mark versus Clint. And I have one thing, and I said it earlier. I have Clint just because of bye week apocalypse, bro. He can't do anything. I mean, do you drop Chase Claypool? Do you drop Amari Cooper? Do you drop Chenault? No. Yeah. Do you drop?
He's got to do something.
Do you drop Madison? No. You can't drop Jerry Jeudy because he's going to be coming back. Do you drop Tony Pollard? No.
Right.
He can technically fill a lineup. He can put in Calvin Ridley and then put Michael Carter in his flex. But do you feel excited about Michael Carter going across the board from Elijah Mitchell? No.
And he won't have a quarterback either, will he? Who's he got?
No, and I was scrolled down too far. He won't even have a quarterback. So you don't feel good about it. I mean, Henry will probably get 70 points, which is hey, did you know this? That Derrick Henry has more fantasy points than every single quarterback?
Yes.
He also has more TDs than the Packers running backs, the Saints running backs, the Vikings running backs, and there's another team, like a high-end team. I think it was maybe the Chiefs or something like that. All of them combined, all their running backs. He has more TDs than all of them.
Yeah,
that's pretty
making
nuts.
Me sick. Yeah.
So, and then on top of it, like, not to draw it out because obviously I feel like Clint's gonna win here, but Derrick Henry, you're cool, but like Gibson on a pitch count, you don't feel great about that. Jacoby Myers,
right? Right.
Like,
yep.
I don't know. Yeah.
I got and the Jets passing D is surprisingly better than what you would think they would be. So
sure.
Yeah. Same thing. So it's gonna be a fun matchup. Both are missing their big boss stacks. So no Dak and Cooper, no Herbert and Allen. But Mark, like we said, he's without Prescott Cooper. He's without, his whole freaking team is on buys. This is why I'm not against this, but I've had seasons before where I said, hey, fuck it. I don't care about bye weeks. I'm not going to pick my team to stagger. I'm going to take them all. If they're all got the same week, they got the same week. You take the L and you move on, So maybe that's what Mark was thinking this season, or maybe it just happened to happen this way to him. But either way, you ain't winning with 6 players on buys. So I'm going with Clint and second harvest trend, baby. And then I'll take over the last three matchups. So what do I got? I'll start with my matchup. So it's me versus Marshall. He has Jefferson on a bye week, but other than that, he is at full strength. I'll be missing Schultz and Zach Moss due to buys. Tyreek Hill was nursing that quad injury, kept him at 50% snap count last week. Still hasn't been to practice this week, but I don't give a shit. I'm picking myself to sneak one out here. If not just for the fact that I need this win. So it is me all day. I actually do like my lineup. Even with them backup running backs in there, I'm projected 141 right now because I got some juicy matchups. So me over Marshall.
Yeah, this one is super close for me too. I like Marshall's roster with Rogers, Jacobs, and Kamara. I give you the slight edge for wide receivers. But Hill was a DMP today, so keep an eye on that. And if for some odd reason he does get put on a pitch count or does not play, I do suspect McCole Hardman to just fucking pop off. The one nice thing about Dearness Johnson, I will say, is it's gonna rain in that game. So, you know, most of the time people be running when it rains. So I do give the tight end position to Joe and the flex position back to Marshall. So this one is very, very close. But I am picking Marshall.
All right. Diversity, baby. Next one is Tom versus Drake. Both are missing a few guys due to bye weeks, of course, and injuries. But Brady is going to scorch the Bears in Tampa Bay this Sunday. 3 touchdowns. And Kelsey's going to have a 20-point plus game, especially with Tyreek Hill being a little banged up. But after that, I look for the rest of Drake's team to struggle this week. For Tom, I like Jackson at home against the Bengals, Cortland Sutton to stay red hot, and Jalen Waddle to have another strong performance against the Falcons. I am taking Tom over Drake this week. Second harvest.
All right. I am picking Drake. This one is close for me too. I'm picking Drake based on the pure fact that this fucking homer over here is playing Kyle Juszczyk and Ross Dwelly. Like, I bet you Tom didn't even know who the fuck Ross Dwelly was. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I saw that too.
Ross Dwelly's played like 2 games in the last 3 years or some shit. Like, this motherfucker don't know who he is. And that's the pure reason I'm picking him, because fucking Homer boy overplaying a fullback and tight end that no one even fucking knows.
I was surprised at some of that too. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But
one thing I will say, and I know that Drake probably won't want to do it, and this is just me personally, as if this was my team, I would drop Kadarius Toney to potentially ensure me a win and pick up a kicker. Kadarius Toney's injury is, they're saying that it's a serious ankle injury. You're in week 7. I mean, I know he's like the hot ticket right now, but
right.
It's probably like 2 to 3 weeks before he comes back, and they're already getting their other wide receivers back. He's gonna start getting flooded out a little bit. That's just my personal take. If I was Drake, I would drop him to help ensure a win, but that's just me.
Yeah, if I was Tom, I would definitely be looking at. I put the recent Mark Ingram out there on the waiver wire list, and David Johnson's on the wire list. I mean, you can't be running the fullback from San Fran, buddy. That's no bueno.
Yeah, I was also looking at Ingram. I don't need him, but I kind of just wanted to pick
I'm done
him
with
up.
him. Yeah. And then last matchup of the week, Sean and JR are going to throw down this weekend. It's what I think is going to be the closest matchup of the week. JR has good matchups for Wentz, Adams, Goddard, and the Pats D against the Jets. Sean is missing his workhorses this week with Josh Allen and Zeke on buys. I do look to his running backs and Antonio Brown to keep him in this one. But I've got JR holding on by a few points this week. But Sean, if you can work some magic for me and get a dub, my team would greatly appreciate it. But I'm still riding with JR.
All right. And I am picking Sean.
Man, this is great this week.
Yeah. So I just realized this. I don't pay attention to this, and maybe I should, but I think I picked my whole division except for Tom.
Yeah.
And if
That's
that could be
awesome.
the case where I go, lose all of them,
Right.
and I win and the rest of my division
Right.
loses, that would be great. But I like Sean's running backs, Henderson and Fournette. I like Tua's matchup. I don't know if I like Tua, but I like Tua's matchup. The one thing I will say, which maybe a lot of people don't know this because no one likes Carson Wentz, but he actually was the number one passer rating quarterback last week. So just throwing that out there. I do like JR's wide receivers, so I have it pretty close. I just truly believe that Henderson and Fournette are going to get enough points to basically supplement his wide receiver work against Adams, Bateman, and Chase. So
yeah, they've been solid.
Yeah,
Solid
so,
RBs.
Yeah. But yeah, I got Sean.
All right. What do we got left? Just come on, man.
Well, we have the wheel of
We do got the wheel.
The
Yes.
wheel to win.
I knew we were missing something here. All right.
You're in on it.
Oh, I'm in for the wheel.
Okay.
I didn't even run the numbers from last week, so I have no idea.
I did.
Okay.
I did it like 30 seconds before we ran this podcast because I completely forgot about it as well. Excuse me. Let me share my screen here.
I think I had a juicy team if I remember right. Hopefully this panned out okay.
All right. Well, I hate to break it to you, Joe, but you got last. So
oh man. Oh, didn't I have Jalen Hurts? I think I did.
Yeah, he had the most points for your whole team.
Didn't I have Gesicki? I thought he had a monster week.
No, you had Gaskin.
Oh,
he had 3.4.
Oh yeah, I know
he was your busted.
Yep.
All right, going over the lineups. Joe had Hurts for 26.4, Jefferson for 14.0, Pittman Jr. for 5.8, Zeke for 18.9, Gaskin for 3.4, and Kelsey for 17.9 for a total of 86.4. Yeah. David had Brady for 21.1, AJ Brown for 26.1, Chenault for 11.4, Williams for 23.9, Taylor for 28.8, Schultz for 12.9 for 114.2.
Jeez.
And Marshall had Rodgers for 26.9, Cup for 34.0, Diggs for 23.9.
Oh.
But he had Booker for 10.9.
Yes.
David Johnson for 1.1.
Yes.
And Daniels for 0.
Yes.
For 96.8. I barely squeaked that one out.
He should have taken Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
What they got there. No, he still would have been short. He would have been short.
So for the season, Joe is 2.1, 2-1. I am 1-2. And obviously Marshall just joined first time last week. So he is 1-0. I did take out what I said.
1-0, but he's 0-1. Yes, he is. Yes.
Yeah, he felt like he was 1-0.
Yes,
but he's 0-1. Correct. Sorry, my hat's getting all crazy. All right. Just so you know, Joe, I did take out the bye teams. So
good. Okay, good deal.
We're ready to go on that.
Nice.
Let me write down this stuff. Okay, so you can see the screen, right? You got it?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna run it. I won, so I start.
All right, I like it.
Oh no.
Geno? Is it Geno Smith?
I will take DK Metcalf.
Yes. He's been getting a good target share even with Geno Smith there.
The Colts.
Oh, we're gonna stick with Jonathan Taylor. He's hot. We'll stick with Taylor.
All right. So far, 2 good rolls.
Yep.
Nothing I like crazy. Both of them.
No Jets.
I'll go to the Rams. All right, cool.
Oh,
God damn. But now I don't know if I want QB or wide receiver. I want wide receiver because, but then I have two of my. I already have my two wide receivers already picked. Let me go with Henderson.
all right. I like that. Solid every week. Every week.
I try and save my quarterback. I don't know if that's correct strategy because we just started doing this, you know?
Sure. Oh no.
You got the Dolphins, bro.
Oh no. Well. It's just Gesicki or Waddle.
That was it for me. I was
I
curious
know.
what was going in your brain.
But they both had, I think last week Gesicki was 9 catches for 109. But Waddle had 7 for 70 and 2 touchdowns. Give me Waddle.
Okay.
I think I can get a little bit better tight end. Is this the week where like nobody wants to be on Cleveland Browns right now? We don't want to see the Cleveland Browns come up on the wheel.
Hey,
I think I
man,
would have rather had Miami over Cleveland.
I was thinking about, well, that's technically true, but if I did get the Browns and I had a wide receiver spot, I might fuck around with Landry.
Yeah, I mean I would too. Yeah, but it's Case
Ooh.
Keenum.
Oh. If I pick Cordell Patterson, can I put him in either a tight end or a wide receiver spot?
Negative.
What? He's listed that
negative.
way.
No, this dude's a running back.
Oh my god. So you take tight end or running back here. Fuck it. I'm taking Patterson. I said he's getting 125 all purpose.
Okay.
I'm fucking roll with it, man. That was my buy. I'm with it.
I do want to see.
You don't want to see that. Oh no.
I can't see it.
Cardinals.
Is it the Cardinals? Okay.
Yeah, it was on the tick of Washington, bro.
Oh no, we're going Kyler Murray for sure.
Yeah. Damn, did you see it? So you seen that post? It was like you have to lose one quarterback, and it was like Lamar, Murray, Josh Allen, Kyler, or what did I say? Lamar, Mahomes,
Kyler Murray, yep.
Josh Allen, Herbert, and Murray. And so it's 5 people, and I got the 49ers, by the way. And
you had to lose one. You had to take.
You had to pick one to lose. Like you couldn't go on with one. And obviously, like my pick is Mahomes because I hate him, but I respect him, but I hate him.
Right.
But I was cracking up because I seen this TikTok of this girl, and she's like, hey, like, you can pick any of them, and like it's a respectable answer that you're gonna lose one because the rest of them are so good. But she was like, what I'm trying to figure out is, so Allen and Murray were next to each other. She's like, I'm trying to figure out how 5'7" Kyler Murray is the same height as Josh Allen, who's 6'3", because they had him like straight across.
Yeah.
And awesome. I didn't even notice that in the picture, but she's like, can someone explain this to me?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is funny. 49ers.
Let's go, Tom.
Yeah, who's it? Well, no, I'm just kidding. I'll take Devo.
All right. That's good. And is there a chance Jimmy G, I think, is playing this week?
He is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is. They've already said that he's playing.
Yeah.
The Bears?
What? Jesus. What?
You have one running back, one wide receiver, and your tight end. Cole Kmet?
No. I'm taking that Herbert kid. No, take that Herbert kid. It's not going to be good, but
really?
Yeah.
You're not going to go with Mooney or?
Nope.
What this kid? Is it Khalil Herbert?
Yeah, it's Khalil Herbert. Yeah, this kid's going to push David Montgomery out of a job.
He is very good.
Yeah, he's playing really well.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I have
no.
the Titans and I only have a QB or a tight end spot.
Thank God.
Well, I might roll the dice and go Berkshire and see who I get for a
Yep.
quarterback, I guess.
Yep, for sure. Anything's got to be better than Tannehill.
All right.
All right. What do I got left?
You
end
have
and-
a wide receiver and tight end.
Okay. We're going to get a good one right here. No, we're not.
You already got the Cardinals, so you
thank
can't get
God.
them.
All right. Doesn't have to take Zach Ertz for a second there. Yeah. What the fuck?
Do Texans even have a tight end? Remember?
What the
fuck? Fucking Marshall. That shit was funnier than fuck.
Dude, fuck. Give me Brandon Cooks.
All right. All right. So whoever the whoever the quarterback is on this team is me,
All right.
and whoever the tight end is.
All right.
Oh no.
Justin Fields.
Oh no.
You could take Andy Dalton. Hey, it is against Tampa Bay, and their pass defense is trash.
Yeah.
You never know.
And whoever the tight end is.
Where are we at?
Saints.
Jesus. Who the hell is that? They got like two white boys.
Saints is oh man. I know
Wasn't
this.
Wasn't
but-
it
it's Juwan Johnson and it was
Josh Hill?
No.
He got traded.
No,
He got
it's
traded.
with I feel like there's an A in his name. Why is it so like enunciated on the A?
David Thomas?
No, Troutman. But he's hurt, right? So is Juwan Johnson.
Jesus.
It's
Jesus.
Adam Troutman. If he's healthy, I don't know. I don't know if he's healthy or not.
Yeah, I don't either.
But the backup is Juwan Johnson.
I'm looking at their depth
Pretty
chart
positive.
right now. Give me 1 second. This
I'm
took
like
5
99%
seconds.
positive.
All right. Tight end is Adam Troutman, Garrett Griffin, Juwan Johnson.
What the fuck? Who the fuck's Garrett Griffin?
Never heard of the guy before. You know what? I don't know if Troutman's playing or not, but just mark it down as Troutman. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll play,
All right.
maybe he won't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Juwan Johnson has been the one getting the touches, but I don't watch Saint games.
Yeah, I
so,
don't watch. Yeah, me neither.
But all right, that concludes it. Joe, you
Nice.
got
Yep.
your segment of
I do.
Come
Yep.
on,
Let me
man.
get out of full screen here. Okay, so finishing up with Come On Man. This week's Come On Man goes out to Tackle Box Tom. So in week 5, you played Austin Hooper and he put up a fat ass 0 for you. So you use your fantasy football genius, I guess, and you decide to stick with the 29th ranked tight end Hooper, and he got you 1.4 points this week. Phone's ringing. Sorry about that. You could have went to the waiver wire and grabbed guys such as OJ Howard, CJ Uzama, Tyler Conklin, or Mo Alley Cox, which all would have
Gigantor.
gotten you the win this week against an undefeated Kilo. You ride with a garbage tight end Hooper. So you could have sat atop of your division, and instead you sat on your hands. With decisions like that, it is a miracle that you are 4-2. Come on, man.
That's good. I didn't realize that he could have won.
Yes,
But-
yes, he would have won.
Yeah,
Needed
that
8
is-
points.
That's no good. All right, that concludes week 7 podcast. This was a fun one. Felt pretty quick. I don't know. the
Yeah, it did.
time,
It felt
but-
really short, but I guess
felt-
we had a guest last week,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's true. That one took a little bit, but very fun. So if anyone wants to be on the podcast, I keep hearing all these people say,
Yeah, I
I'll
know.
do it, but
I know.
Marshall's really the only one that commits to it. we have a blast when people are on here. We want to talk to you guys. We want to like we did last week, talk to Marshall, feel him out. Wait, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
And
feel
see
him, baby.
and see, how he feels about the season and football, and get a little personable. So, a lot of us don't get to see each other on the regular. I don't see a lot of you guys, even though we work together. And then obviously the people that don't work with us, I don't ever see. Um, so get a little bit attached. This league is a band of brothers, I feel like. And um, you know, I feel like we have been for the last year and a half, been really good and really close and connected. And I just personally, I really enjoy this. I know Joe really enjoys doing this podcast, and
Yes,
I want to
sir.
use it as an outlet to even make the group closer, have more fun, have something to bullshit. You hear Marshall talk about something. Maybe this is something that you guys can connect on and correlate to each other when you guys talk in the future, whatever the case may be. I know some people are nervous; they don't want to talk, but you have to remember these are 12 guys that you see in the draft and all this stuff. No one is going to legitimately hate on you or give you shit. They're gonna give you shit,
No, of course.
but
That's
it's
what it's
all
about.
in fun. Like
Yeah.
Joe and I can be up here and say stupid shit, do stupid shit, not remember stuff. This isn't our job, obviously. And people might give us a hard time about it, whatever, but I'm
Fuck
cool with
it.
it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know if you have anything else on that, Joe, but
No, I mean, I guess, and we tried to post it the other week too, but listen, I mean, we don't have to talk football. We just want to hang out and
anything.
BS before the podcast starts. And if you don't want to stick around to chime in like on all the rest of the pick'ems or anything like that, you don't have to.
Yeah.
We just want people to partake and get some fun interviews going and just see what everyone's up to. So anytime at all you guys want to jump in on Zoom and we knock out a 10-minute interview or something, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
So just
Just be
hit us up.
open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Open to the rest of the league. And like I said this just before, I alluded to it, but you see these guys, put during the draft and the season, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes things are so hectic that you might not talk to a certain person and you truly don't know about them. And maybe you do want to connect with them. Maybe you want to make a trade, but you don't want to be like, oh fuck, I never talked to this guy about shit. Like just I don't know. I
Yeah, I
love
mean,
this
pretty
league.
soon I'm gonna yank like the mailman in here when he walks by so we can get a guest.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I love
we need
this
some
league. I love the
participation.
group of people. And I really do think it's a band of brothers, and we just have a lot of fun, and I want to continue that fun. I want to share it with you guys, and I guess that's my rant. I didn't plan on ranting about that. It just truly came from the heart. But
Nice. Nice from the heart, baby.
yeah, I love this shit.
Yes.
So
Hit him with the
but
field. Hit him
yeah,
with the field.
hit 'em with the field, baby. Yeah, so that's will conclude week 7.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for listening. If you listen this far, we greatly appreciate it. Comments and tips and all that shit, obviously we love it. So closing out Tacos Truck, I'm your commissioner, David Molly.
Co-host Joey Drip. Good week, boys.
Yep, thanks boys, have a good one, appreciate it.